What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Seth just taking a big rip. Welcome back to the Guys of Texas podcast, episode 8. I'm going to need some help from you boys. It is Hate Houston week altogether right now for all of us. The ladies volleyball team already beat Houston this week. The Texas Rangers currently are up 2-0 against Houston Astros this week. And now we got Saturday, Texas Longhorns versus the University of Houston. And it's hate week right now, boys. How are we feeling about the game this week?
Man, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited. Just this dude, I was in depression mode for like a solid 10 days. I tried to go back and watch the game a little bit and got like 4 minutes in. I can't do this. I can't do this.
I haven't lost anything. Like, the Rangers have helped me pass everything that happened. I don't even remember it at this point.
It took a while to climb out of the hole, but I'm excited and ready for the game.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been forever, dude. Like that 1 week off, I feel like so much has happened in that 1 week.
We went up in rankings.
Yeah, we moved up and Oklahoma moved down. So there's that.
Yep.
That's a W right there.
What do you guys think? What do you think about this week, Jonah?
I was going to say, I'm excited for the game. I mean, I fully expect Texas to come out and look sharp in this one. I feel like that loss against Oklahoma hopefully was what we needed to kind of get us in line. Houston's coming off a big win versus West Virginia. I mean, that Hail Mary was not, the last minute and a half of that game was just absolutely ridiculous. And I fully expect a lot of Texas fans there, obviously, because that West Virginia-Houston game, they had tickets as low as $2 for that game. And obviously
they are not that cheap this week. I'm going to tell you that.
No, not at all. But I fully expect that stadium to probably be 60% Texas fans. It's going to feel like a home game, I'm sure. I feel like this is our chance to kind of come in and prove that, shake off that loss. And obviously it was a super tough loss, but kind of move forward. And I like this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of how Texas responds a little bit. Defense, we really need to see a lot out of them again this week. I mean, their quarterback's got 1,600 passing yards, 13 TDs, 3 interceptions. Quinn Ewers, 1,700 yards, 11 TDs, 3 interceptions. So, I mean, he's no slouch on there. On that end, as far as the offensive side. However, it's going to be it's a different team than what they've faced so far. The Big 12 just looks like trash altogether. It almost feels like the entire Big 12 will have a losing record except for OU and Texas this year. They're just every team. You're like, okay, this team's going to step up. They get smashed by the bottom of the barrel in the Big 12. Yeah. That's how it feels right now. So Brooks, I expect a big game out of him. I really would like to see a lot more from Worthy. I feel like we're not seeing a ton from him right now, and I really want to see Worthy step up and Mitchell. Those are going to be big ones.
He can't break a tackle to save his life this year. I feel like that was you could hang your hat on that his freshman season, oh my gosh, he made it out of that somehow. And this year I keep waiting for that. I mean, I feel like last year too, but keep waiting for all right, he's got a great catch. Can he get past one guy? And he can't do it. It's really frustrating.
It's the exact opposite of what our defense is doing because we're letting everybody break tackles right now. So that's something we need to sharpen up on that end. Auburn, I'm confident with Auburn right now.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I think we're going in the right direction. We need a big bounce back, and we need to start wrecking guys now. We got the one loss down now. We really got to start smashing in the mouth and not letting anything held back. I want to see Malik Murphy in the third quarter. We're beating them that bad at this point. We need that right now.
I mean, we haven't seen the all gas, no breaks actually on the field. It's been a mantra, but I don't feel like it's ever actually been on display. Can we just really ram it down their throat?
Yeah, we're not worried about miles per gallon.
Yeah.
93% projected Texas to win. So let's hope that 6.4% is not correct. I don't think they will be. But do you guys know anything about the Houston side that kind of pops out to you?
I mean, I know Donovan Smith. I mean, he was at Texas Tech for 2 years. So it's somebody that kind of familiar with seeing in the Big 12. I mean, he's an athletic quarterback, another quarterback that's going to be a dual threat quarterback on us. So this would be a good test for us to see if we've made the adjustments we needed to make, because Gabriel just tore us up on the ground. So he's a big quarterback too, 6'5", 240 pounds. So, you're not going to be able to arm tackle this guy, when he gets around in the pocket. And that's what we just kept seeing, is just these wimpy tacklers just coming up, and you just got to wrap up and swarm the ball, And so that's the main thing I see looking at Houston. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing, is if we slow him down, you look at the rest of their offense, and it really, really runs through him only. So that's going to be a good test for our defense.
I think the big thing for me also is just seeing Sarkisian, like how he's going to play call, like get rid of the gimmick stuff right now, pound the football, start with the run, establish a run, and then break it out. Like we have plenty of different weapons, and Sarkisian is going to have to start showing up a little bit. I have all the confidence in the world, but that defensive play calls at the end of the game against the OU game still kind of haunts me a little bit. Like we should have won that game still, even where we were at. And so that's what really I'm looking for, is kind of the play calling in this game. That's the biggest takeaway from me this week.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into Houston at all. I mean, I looked at who they played, and they much lighter schedule for sure, but they haven't been bad. But I really just feel like this is the bounce back to see what our team can do. Can they, no matter what Houston throws at us, like we should be able to handle business and make it look easy this week. And that's not to be cocky, but I just mean from a skill level, our players should be able to go out there and handle business. And I really hope to see it. That something got ignited after last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yep, I think that's gonna be big.
If not,
yeah, I mean, if you look at
disappointing down the run,
yeah,
I was about to say, you look at Houston, they played Rice and went to like double overtime earlier in the year. So I feel like skill level wise, this is, we kind of look at what we did against Rice, which was, what was it, 37-10, so that's kind of the type of game I anticipate. I just really want to see the defense come in and perform well. That's the main thing for me. I just feel like we just got beat up versus OU, and I just want to see the defense make a stand. Not worried about the offense. I know we'll be okay. The offense is kind of hot and cold at times. We were cold in that first quarter against OU, and then just pretty much did what we needed to do the rest of that game. But defense didn't hold their own on that end of the deal. So,
yeah. I mean, the problem is like you see that, you see Rice, you see they got beat by TCU, got beat by Tech, and then they played West Virginia, which West Virginia was undefeated up until last weekend. And it's like, this is what I mean about this whole Big 12 right now, is you can't figure out who anybody is right now in the bottom half, like at all. It's wild to me. Kansas State's starting to pick back up. It seems like a little bit, which might help. Maybe they can get ranked by the time we have that matchup. Texas Tech is very hit and miss. They can't show up in the fourth quarter. It seems like that's their big problem right now. But I guess we'll see. Let's do score predictions for this week.
For our game score prediction,
yes, for this one.
Oh, I hadn't thought about a prediction, but I keep overshooting these by a lot. But I still think that this is going to be a game that we're going to come out and really try to show off offense. So I'm going to say 42-13.
I'm going 56-7.
All right,
56-7.
We're going smoke show this week. We've got to come out. We're going to have to show a lot. I think the defense steps up, and I think we really just I think it's going to be. I think he slings the ball the first couple series, and then we establish a running game again, and then just all hell break loose. Like at this point, you cannot let off the gas anymore. Like it just can't happen. So that's what my prediction, Jono.
I'll take 41-13. I think Brooks has a big day. I think he goes for 150 and a couple touchdowns. I feel like looking at this,
limb, huh?
Yeah. But I feel like we established the running game. I think even we see Baxter do well against this. So just looking at Houston's run defense, this is our shot to really, really beat them up with our depth.
We need Baxter to show up, man.
Yeah, I know. That's like hopeful.
He needs, Brooks was kind of the same way last year. Like Brooks got touches and everything last year. But the two guys he was playing behind, like it was difficult. And I think Baxter's kind of in that same spot. He needs to just get in there, when we're up and get that experience, and then come in next year and come guns a blazing. So,
Yeah.
okay, well that's kind of it's really difficult this week just because we're coming off a bye week and no one wants to talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. So we'll just move on and talk about kind of the matchups this week. Big one that jumps out to me, the big one's going to be Penn State, Ohio State. That
Yeah.
one's going to be
Absolutely.
massive.
I'm
And
excited that that's
honestly,
early.
yeah,
The
it is 11
big
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah.
noon.
I'm excited about it.
Ohio State's favored by 4 at home. So here's my question, because Texas obviously probably going to need a little bit of help um, going to make the playoffs with this Big Ten. We got 3 Big Ten schools up there. Who do you need to get beat twice, and who do you need to split 1-1? Right now, I think Michigan is going to have to get beat twice between Penn State and Ohio State. I think because they're all 3 going to play each other, right? One team is going to have to beat both of them. One team needs, I feel like, to lose both, right? Um, I would prefer Michigan over those 3, and I think if Penn State is the one that takes 2-0 for both of those, and Ohio State goes 1-1, I think Ohio State gets dumped out, Michigan gets dumped out, Penn State moves in, and we move in up on top.
Michigan to drop 2. I mean, I would love that.
I mean, that's
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
fantasy land a little bit,
Yeah.
but like, is it Ohio State or Michigan this year when they're playing each other? Are they at?
They're in the
They
big house.
are at. They're at the big house. Okay, which they haven't looked good the last couple of years against them. So you never know with that football game. It's just like Texas OU.
Yeah.
You'll never know. But I feel like Michigan loses 2, and Ohio State gets the win against them. Penn State gets the win against both. I think that moves Penn State into the playoff picture, and then gets Texas in there if we went out and smoked Oklahoma in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, worst case thing for Texas would be them just kind of beating up each other, and then you end up with a 1-loss Michigan, a 1-loss Ohio State. Then you got
In
Penn
close
State
games too,
in
like
close
all 3
games.
close games.
Like the bundle there. You really need somebody to kind of set themselves apart. I'm thinking Michigan goes through the schedule, and I think they go into that Big Ten championship game. And potentially get the rematch, in over there. But I don't know. It's a tough situation because it's trying to figure out what we need in front of us to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Just feels like Penn State's going to be that odd man out over there, but that Big Ten's really up for grabs. I would much rather play Ohio State or Penn State over Michigan right now, though.
Right.
So,
okay. So who do you think between Penn State, Ohio State, who do you think is going to win that?
Spoiler alert for my picks later, but I'm taking Penn State.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm taking Penn State right now, just kind of the way they're playing. I know they're going to the horseshoe, but Penn State's playing very well. Ohio State's just had a lot of very close games.
Yeah.
And they start very slow. Penn State comes out slinging in the first half. Ohio State's done. Like they're not going to be able to come back from it. So that's why I'm taking Penn State on that too.
Yeah, I agree.
Ohio against the world, dude. Ohio against the world. I'm taking Ohio State, man.
Really?
Ohio State at home. Penn State, they've done well, but they haven't really played anybody to see what they're capable of. I think Ohio State has been tested a few times in real gritty games. I think Ohio State takes it.
I just want to be clear. If you ever say Ohio State against the world ever again on this podcast, we'll just go ahead and boot you off. Okay, I've got all powers. So,
in the thought process of past the playoff, what do y'all think? You don't have the schedule in front of you, but do you think it's possible for Oklahoma to, not obviously possible, but Oklahoma to drop a game still in their schedule for the championship game?
Yes, I was looking at that. The only real option that they have of losing it was West Virginia, but I don't think that's going to happen now. I mean, I think that's probably their best case scenario would be West Virginia or TCU looking to spoil after their trash season, not even making it to a bowl game at that point for their last game of the season. Those are the 2 big ones. Oklahoma State, no.
No, not a chance.
As much as it's like the in-state rivalry for them, like Oklahoma State is just terrible. Kansas, possibly.
I had been looking at Kansas, but after watching them last week, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But it depends on right now. It depends on who shows up for them. Like,
It's
is
just I was about to say, you look at all these, and there's like a chance that any of these could happen on any given Saturday. But I mean, OU is going to be favored. If you look at their schedule, I mean, OU is going to be favored by double digits in every game.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a pretty big upset. And then you look at their games that they have on the road, and it's just nothing really that's yeah, you got the game in Stillwater, and if that's a night game, you know how tough it is to play there. But like you said, Oklahoma State's been so up and down this year, you don't really know what you're going to get with them.
well, I think TCU with the last game of the year. It is on 11/24. Is that Thanksgiving or Black Friday
Friday.
morning? Yeah, so that'll be Black Friday morning. So the night before, you have a whole lot of turkey, you have a whole lot of stuffing. You're enjoying time with the family. Sometimes you overeat. A defense could have too many carbs and just overload it, and you never know what you get the next morning.
Yeah.
The old turkey hangover, you never know.
Well, they may have already clinched a Big 12 title berth at that point too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
as much as they have everything to play for still with going undefeated in the season, yeah, that's one of those trap games after Thanksgiving that
But Oklahoma doesn't. Yeah, they just don't have the schedule to be able to take a one loss before the Big 12 and
Oh
then
no, for
lose the
sure.
Big 12. Like
No,
Yeah.
for
they're
sure.
for sure out. So, and even winning the Big 12 at that point, you lose to like TCU by 2 touchdowns. Like
No.
you're not
Yeah.
making it into the playoffs. So,
I had been looking at BYU on their schedule, thinking about that as a trap game. The elevation at BYU, but then after what BYU did last weekend against TCU, I don't think that's a shot at all.
yeah,
44-11 against TCU. God,
Yeah. Didn't expect that one.
no.
The other big game that I see for this week is actually going to be Tennessee, Alabama, not just because of the rankings, but I think Alabama, the way Alabama is, and they've always been with these voters, man, the coaches poll and all that, they always somehow just decide to creep back in. And they went out and go to the SEC title game and they win that against Georgia. Here we go, trying to shoe back into in the SEC to get in the
Absolutely.
playoffs. So I think Tennessee really needs to win that game. In my opinion, I think that's a have to. Bama's favored by 9. Tennessee took it in a very close. I think they went to overtime last year, or it came down to a field goal, I believe. Last year it was a high scoring game. So Alabama's looking for revenge there. You never know with Jalen Milroe; he has stepped it up a little bit, but in clutch games right now he looks better. But you're playing like the teams like A&M, which old Jimbo's on the big hot seat right now. That guy is on fire. And
So fun
there's
to
no
watch.
A&M fan with a fire extinguisher. I can tell you that they're throwing gasoline on it. So, but yeah, it's I think that's going to be a big game. I do think Tennessee covers that game. I don't know that they beat Alabama, but I would love for that to happen.
Yeah,
Do you
it's a must win for Tennessee for sure. I mean, sitting on that side of the division, if they want any chance in that East, I mean, they're going to have Georgia trip up a little bit. But yeah, it's got to be a must win for Tennessee. I mean, Alabama's sitting there on top of the West at 4-0 in conference with LSU right behind them at 4-1. But that's the matchup next week with them too. So must win for Tennessee, it feels like.
Duke, Florida State. That's going to be an interesting one, I feel like. That's probably Florida State's real big last test before they go to the ACC championship. That'll be interesting. Florida State's favored by 14, but I don't know. Duke's been playing good still.
Yeah, even with the quarterback injury, they're still playing good, but that's gonna be a tough game going into that stadium at night. You know, that's the primetime game. That's gonna be a lot for Duke to handle.
I'll run through all my picks.
Oh, we're going over the games right now. You calm down right now, all right? We know you like to cherry pick all of what we say, and then you just kind of kick after that.
That's why I'm stating them right now, so it doesn't look like I'm just like listening. Like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Ole Miss Auburn is interesting.
Which one?
Ole Miss Auburn. You got
Yes.
the night game for Auburn. That's just a tough stadium to go into and play. And Ole Miss has looked good this year. I mean, they've only stumped their toe that one time, but that's one of those kind of almost feels like a trap game. for Ole Miss.
I agree.
I feel like Ole Miss is going to drop one, something that they shouldn't. I feel like that's classic Lane Kiffin.
They will.
For sure.
I think they will lose that in the Mississippi State game.
Yeah, they still
even
got
though
Georgia
as
on
bad
their
as
schedule
Mississippi
too.
State is. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll lose to Mississippi State and then they'll beat Georgia or something like that.
Yeah.
Typical Lane Kiffin fashion. Utah, USC.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's going to be a fun one.
USC has hit a wall, boys. Notre Dame laid it on them.
Yeah, do they bounce back? Is Caleb Williams still there? What's going on?
Caleb Williams in the dumpster right now for the Heisman. Did not bode well for him. I don't know how this game's going to go. That's going to be very interesting. The problem is you never know with anything in the Pac-12 because everyone just guns it. So, I mean, you're take the over whatever you do. But I think USC kind of bounces back on that game. I don't think Utah is going to be able to pull that off at USC. I think USC pulls that one out.
Is there any update on when Cam Rising's coming back?
Like, I was just thinking about that too. I was like,
I felt like they were teasing it like week 2, and now we're here. And is he just out for the season, or what's going on there?
I haven't heard anything.
I mean, they were looked at as being a real contender this year as long as he got back. And waiting for that to happen.
I think they're still redshirting him, it looks like. The title I see, Utah Utes QB clock ticking, why a Cam Rising redshirt may be a foregone conclusion. So they may just be redshirting out.
They're talking about a medical redshirt. Yeah, pretty much everything you see.
Wild.
Yeah, that's interesting with a guy that, it says unlikely to play. Yeah, it's just like kind of like you said, they've been like flirting around with it, but haven't put him in there. That injury must just be something that's lingering around, or that's confusing.
They've done well though. It's shocking, like surprisingly. I wouldn't have expected them to do this well without him.
Yeah,
imagine what they would have been with him this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do picks for this week. I'll kind of give a recap.
You think Stanford's going to upset UCLA? We're going to skip over that Stanford offense.
Wait, who's? Oh yeah. My bad. Stanford won't be doing that. The only thing I know about Stanford is that Tiger Woods dominated in golf there. That's the only thing I know.
The Ryder Cup, man.
Fun fact. Okay, so picks last week. Seth went 3-0. I went 3-0. And old Jono went 1-2. I'm proud of you for getting that
with the biggest upset of the day. The biggest upset of the day.
Yeah, you are. So the records now stand. Seth and myself tied at 6-4-1, and Jono at 2-10. He has doubled his wins picks for the season.
Oh man, let's go!
So super proud of you. What do we got for this week, boys?
I guess I'll go first since I've been talking about my picks all night anyway.
Yeah, since you've basically given them all already.
So I'm taking Duke over Florida State straight up. I think the spread on that was -14 Florida State. Okay. That's the biggest one I'm taking. I don't know. I just got a feeling on that one. I can't really back it up by anything.
Bold move. I would have definitely taken the points on that. But
yeah. All three of these, I'm just going straight up. The point spread was interesting. Utah over USC. USC's been, I don't know. I feel like they're just starting to fall apart. That O-line can't do anything. So I'm going to be rooting for Utah big time on that one. And then Penn State over Ohio State, like I said, that's -4. Ohio State, just like you were saying, I don't feel like they have the comeback power if Penn State comes out. I really feel like Penn State's going to be the more physical team. Ohio State always tries to be more of a passing offense, and I think that Penn State defense is really going to slow them down. So
I agree.
That's my picks.
Okay. Jono, what slugfest do you have to come back this week, my friend?
I feel like I have to play it safe, dude. All these freaking upsets. I'll take Alabama to cover over Tennessee. I think that game there in Alabama it just feels like Alabama's kind of caught their stride. So I'll take Bama there. And I am going to take a little bit of an upset, of course.
Play it safe. And
a little bit of upset, not too much. I'm going to take BYU over Texas Tech. Texas Tech's a 4.5-point favorite. Just not impressed with Texas Tech. I know BYU really struggled last week, but being back at home, I'm going to take them.
Taking straight up with points.
I like
I'm taking them straight up.
Okay.
And then my last one, I'm taking Utah over USC.
Okay.
I think USC's defense is god awful, and I think Utah will be able to move the ball on them. So I'm taking Utah over USC.
Okay. I am sticking with my Mac Brown right now. I am taking UNC over Virginia minus 23.5. I think they are playing very good football right now.
That's
I am
easy.
taking Michigan minus 24 over Michigan State. Michigan State is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And they're going to get smashed. I mean, they could win by 40 in that game. And then the last one I'm going to take. I'm going to steal Seth, and I'm going to take Washington over Arizona State. Seth has been riding.
You're taking some risky calls here, man. Risky calls.
I was about to say the gimme game.
Spreads,
yeah, for real.
The spreads are where it's at.
I'm going to take Georgia over Vandy.
But the points is where you're actually playing right now.
All right,
I'm not worried.
Give me a hot take upset. Just one. It doesn't count towards anything.
Okay, let me look. Give me one.
Give me something spicy. Don't give me these 25-point spreads.
Here's your real spice for you.
I got some spice for you. Dude, how about Air Force 6-0? That's crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. Like I had just turned on that game at the end of it, and they were just celebrating. I was like, okay. All right, I am going to take.
Are you actually taking this, or are we just getting a?
It's just I just need a hot take from him.
You know what? No. We'll take the Michigan one off because you guys are being clowns right now. I'll take the Michigan one off because that's the easiest one right now. Okay. Sorry you don't like free money. If you like free money, just take Michigan plus the points.
I mean, you're trying to pad your stats in the game.
So, look at a win's a win. Okay. Last time I checked, if the money's in your wallet, I'm going to take Oklahoma State over West Virginia.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
So now that Gundy's awake.
Yeah, he'll go back to sleep real quick. But that is plus. I'm going straight up.
Oh, in Morgantown, that'll be a fun game.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your
Thanks for that
bold pick of the week. I don't care right now because baseball's all that matters to me. Okay. Hopefully we just finish this out. It'll be the Longhorn game will be on Saturday. So no matter what happens, it'll be on a travel day for the ALCS. If it lasts that long, it's not going to last that long. But quick recap: Scherzer's going on the mound tomorrow. Game 3. I think the Rangers offense shows up. I think Scherzer pitches lights out. We hit them early and often this time. So far, we have done nothing but score runs in the first 3 innings. We scored 1 run in the 5th inning, and that's it for the 2 games so far. But we went to their house. Astros fans are so excited right now that they were talking about this. Oh my God, we're going on the road. We can win on the road. We win in our house, and you can check the stats for that because we have one of the best records in baseball at home right now. So, one of the top 5 home run hitters, the Rangers at home, the Astros top 5 on the road home run hitters, doesn't matter because that place is going to be rocking. Screw it. I'm saying it. Creed will be playing live tomorrow. Just breaking news right now. It's not on anywhere, but I know for a fact Creed is coming out.
That's awesome.
During the game at some point tomorrow. So you got Ian Kinsler throwing out the first pitch to Derek Holland. I put on Twitter. They both really produce pop-ups for the Rangers, both Derek Holland and Ian Kinsler. Derek Holland liked that stat. I don't think Ian Kinsler liked that stat as often for Captain Pop-Up, but still love him as a Ranger. And then tomorrow or on Thursday, you've got Colby Lewis throwing to – no, you have Colby Lewis catching tomorrow or on Thursday catching Michael Young on his birthday. So got a lot of stuff coming up. Get 2 out of 3, and let's be done.
Watching your excitement build up for that entire speech and then deciding to drop your
I
Creed
just
fact
couldn't
that you
let it
said
go,
you
dude.
weren't going to
I
drop.
told you I was like, I'm not going to do it. No, it's fine. No, Creed's going to be there. So we're throwing it back to the early 2000s tomorrow, and it's going to be a great game. I cannot wait. We got to get it done tomorrow, though. The stress goes right back on if we lose tomorrow. So
Absolutely.
thank you guys for enduring through me with these Ranger podcasts that I'm throwing up right now. It won't
Dude,
be
I'm loving
for
it.
much longer.
I love the
Only 2 more
passion.
weeks, but
I love the passion, man.
this is something we have been waiting for a very long time. So
You've got me watching the game, so it's working, man.
good. Yeah, I'm getting kicked out of restaurants for watching the game and yelling and screaming at Maudie's yesterday. So
I was going to ask, how was, where'd y'all go? Bolden Acres?
no, we went to Bolden
Bolden
Acres. Yeah, 2 nights ago, or whatever that was, Sunday. Went to Bolden
Sunday.
Acres, and then we ended up going to Lavaca in the Domain.
Okay.
And yeah, we got a little loud. The guy next to me, I already won $20 from because he decided he wanted to spout his mouth off and say, I bet you the Rangers don't win another one. I said, bet me whatever you want. He said, how much? I said, $100. He goes, nah, we'll do $20. I said, okay, fine. So I got his number. I texted him right after the game last night, and he hasn't responded to me yet.
He didn't
So
respond. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
he's I text him go Cowboys. I didn't even rub it in. I just said go Cowboys because he's a Cowboy fan also. Don't worry. I know he's there. I know I'll be getting my $20. And I'll just make sure it happens after we beat them. So
He's gonna be dodging you, bro. He's not gonna show back up.
oh yeah, he's like, I don't know who you are. Which Isaac, I have your phone number.
I find you.
Where's my money, man?
But yeah, I'm super excited. I'll probably recap tomorrow. If you guys want to join, you can. If not, I know it's Ranger baseball, but yeah, we'll just keep following along as the Rangers progress right now. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll see you more than likely tomorrow night after a Rangers win. Hook 'em.
Welcome.